dog training tips and tricks with Premier Dog Training. My name is Samantha, and for the whole month of December, we'll be going over just puppy things. So today, we're going to be talking about potty training, proper toys, and how to teach your dog their name, so stay tuned. The number one complaint that new dog owners have is their dog not knowing how to go potty outside. Now, dogs don't inherently know to go potty outside. When they're young with their mom and stuff, they're usually going potty just kind of in the area that the mother is being kept, and so they don't necessarily know that they need to do their business outside. However, almost every dog knows that they don't want to go potty in their bed, and so last week we talked about crate training a little bit, and we're going to talk about that more today. Crate training is vital for potty training because you're going to use the crate as a correction and as a way to make it so they understand that they can't go potty inside, and that the whole house is their kennel, if you will. So what you're going to do is you're definitely going to need a kennel that is the proper size. If it's too big, enough that they're going potty on the other side, you need to make it smaller. Whether you get a divider or a smaller kennel, whatever you may want to do, you got to make sure that it's the proper size so that your puppy doesn't get confused on what's happening and the purpose of the kennel. The purpose of their kennel is that it's their bed and it's not a place that they want to go potty in because they don't want to sleep where they go potty. Potty training is more simple than you think if you're using a crate to help them learn how to do this. We have this little chart, and it's really simple, I promise. A lot of people try to overthink it a little bit. This makes it really clear and easy. So what you're going to do is in the mornings when your puppy is in their kennel overnight, because that's a good safe place to keep them overnight so they're not getting into, you know, the trash or toys or whatever it may be that puppies get into. We want to make sure that they're kept safe, and so we do recommend that you keep them in a kennel overnight. And so what you do is in the morning, you're going to let them out, you're going to let them go outside, you're going to ask them to go potty, and you want to make sure you're being consistent with the phrase that you use. You know, go potty, I've heard bombs away, do your business, whatever you want. It doesn't matter the phrase, you just have to be consistent in using it. So you're going to ask them to go potty, and then if they go potty, great, fantastic, give them tons of praise, get really excited, give them a treat, bring them back inside, and they can hang out with you for about 30 to 60 minutes. It's going to depend on the age and size of your dog. The smaller the dog, the smaller the bladder, and so they might have to go out more frequently. If your pup is if they're going potty every 15 minutes, they probably actually have some sort of an infection and you want to take them to the vet. But most dogs, 30 to 60 minutes is plenty of time for them to be able to hold it in between potty times. Now, you also want to manage their water intake so they're not drinking a ton and always going potty. So make sure you're managing all those things properly. But so if they go potty outside, they hang out with you for 30 to 60 minutes, and then you just kind of start right back over. You let them back outside, see if they go potty, and if they do, then again, they got to keep hanging out with you. Now, say you let them outside, they don't go potty. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put them in their kennel. The reason for this is they're not going to want to go potty in their kennel, so they're going to have to learn to hold it, and they're going to have to learn to respect your space and the fact that you will let them know when it's time to go potty, and that when you ask them to go potty, they need to do it right then, because if they don't, they're going to go in their kennel and they're going to have to hold it for 15 to 20 minutes. Now your puppy's probably going to whine and be upset about this. Try to ignore it as best you can. If you see that they're about to squat in their kennel, pull them right back out and have them go potty outside. We really don't want them to go potty in their kennel. Again, most dogs do not. However, there are a stubborn few, and if that's the case, just try to catch it as quickly as you can. Again, it's not very common for that to happen. And so you'll want them to go back in their kennel for 15 to 20 minutes, and then you'll let them back outside and you'll give them another chance. Again, if they don't go potty, they're going to go back in their kennel for 15 to 20 minutes. If they do, then they get to hang out with you. Now, what happens if you come across an accident? Well, if you see your puppy pottying in the house in that moment, you're going to want to instantly pick them up as quickly as you can. They're probably going to stop. They might not, so beware. Pick them up as quickly as you can, put them outside, ask them to go potty, and see if they finish. If they don't finish going potty, put them in their kennel for 15 to 20 minutes, bring them back outside, and see if they'll finish going potty. Now, say you find an accident and the puppy has finished, and it's been a while and you don't know how long it is. Again, you're going to want to kind of show them, tell them no, bring them outside, ask them to go potty. If they don't go potty, put them in their kennel for 15 to 20 minutes. If they do, then they get to hang out with you, clean up the mess. It's not a huge deal. You're going to have accidents. It's just not possible that you're not going to have an accident. I've never had a dog that doesn't have an accident at some point in the house. It's just kind of what happens when you get a dog. Every puppy progresses differently. Some dogs are going to pick this up very quickly. Others dogs, it may take a while. However, a normal amount of time for them to really start catching on and having fewer and fewer accidents is between 15 to 20 weeks. That is, kind of a normal standard that they're catching on and having extreme, way less accidents, maybe only once a week. If after 20 weeks your dog is still having an accident every single day, you may have a bigger problem than just not understanding. It may be an attitude or behavior problem. If that's the case, please give us a call. We can definitely help you out with that. And we understand how frustrating it can be, and so we will try to prioritize you as quickly as we can. The main thing to remember when it comes to potty training is that you need to give a lot of praise when they do something correctly. And however, when it comes to scolding your puppy when they go potty inside, there's that old kind of technique of putting their nose in it and telling them they're a bad dog. I find that doesn't really work very well. Pointing at it, telling them no and bad dog, that works just fine, but you don't need to stick their nose in it. It's kind of an outdated thing to do, and it doesn't really speed up the process or anything. It just kind of makes more of a mess on your dog's face than anything. So be patient with your puppy, give them that time, and be proactive, and set timers throughout the day so that you remember to take your puppy out. Quite honestly, if you're not remembering to take them out, that's more on you than on your puppy. Again, they have a very small bladder. They can only hold it for a certain amount of time, and so we need to be proactive about taking them out frequently. If you have to leave during the day and you have a full-time job and you can't let your puppy out during the day, then you need to hire someone or have someone come over or come over during lunch break, something. Your dog does need to be let out frequently when they are at that young age. The next thing we're going to be talking about is toys. Now, a super common toy that a lot of people like to give their dogs is little stuffed animal things, and these are a big no-no. The whole reason is because most dogs are very chewy dogs, right? They're looking to chew something up, tear it up, rip it up, and once they start to do that, then all these little pieces of fabric and stuffing, they come out, and the puppy is just wanting to eat it. Even adult dogs will do this. And that stuffing and the threads and the fabric can get caught up in their digestive system and cause a lot of issues. We're talking a pretty hefty vet bill right here of trying to get that out so that they aren't so sick. So I do not recommend getting stuffed animals. If you do get one, or if you're given one or something, as long as you are there monitoring the whole time with your puppy as they're chewing on that stuffed animal, that's just fine. But as soon as it starts to fall apart, it's gone. You do not want to risk having your puppy digest something like that and have it really mess up their insides. And so the appropriate toys, if you go to the PetSmart section, they have the puppy baby toys. There's a lot in there that are not stuffed animals, and those ones are great. They're usually made of some sort of rubber or fairly hard plastic, like these ones right here. Now, these are adult dog toys. However, the material that the puppy ones are made of are extremely similar. I want you to see that. You see how I can kind of bend this? So it's a rubber, but it's a firm rubber. It's not so much that, if I were to press in and stuff, it moves and it gives in. So it's very firm, very thick. I can leave a nail imprint in it, which is what you kind of want to look for. Your puppy's teeth are very delicate, and although they may be extremely sharp, they're not very thick, and so you want to make sure that your puppy's not going to accidentally break their teeth trying to chew something to death. So make sure that you can leave an indent in the toy as well. And again, flexible enough that it moves, but not so much that it's kind of caving in on each other. For example, if it was a ball, you don't want to be able to squish it in really easy. You want to be able to squish it in enough that it moves, but not so much that it kind of compresses all the way, if that makes sense. Another really great toy is one like this. You never want to get a toy that is shaped like this and that is really hard, because what can happen is they can bite on it and then get their jaw stuck. You want it to be able to bend so that they can't get their mouth stuck around this. Those bones that are like twisted or like super hollow that a lot of people will get their dogs for Christmas, they'll start to chew on it and then they'll get their bottom jaw stuck on the hollow inside, and again, it's very dangerous. So just try to think of the absurd thing that your dog is going to do and prevent it. So make sure, again, this is super flexible. I can move it around, but it's not caving in on itself, and I can leave an indent in it. Again, super appropriate for a puppy. Now, when it gets to the point that they're starting to rip it up and destroy it, again, you've got to throw it away, you've got to take it away, or you've got to watch them the whole time so that you know that they're not ingesting these rubber little pieces. You can see Knox is getting to this one really well, and so these pieces are coming off. And so when this starts to happen, you can't leave your dog unattended with it. It's just a bad idea. It creates a lot of problems. It's a choking hazard. So many things could go wrong. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, there are other toys that are usually the brand that a lot of people refer to. It's called Nylabone. What it is, it's an extremely hard plastic that you can't bend, you can't break, and you can't put your nail in it. These are not appropriate for puppies yet. They do have a puppy version that's softer, but as they get older, these are great to help clean their teeth because they sit there, and as you can tell, my dogs have chewed on this a lot. They sit there and they chew on it and it scrapes the plaque off their teeth, which is fantastic. But again, it's not appropriate for a puppy just because their teeth are so soft and they're not developing any plaque yet. So you don't want to get something that is this hard. However, when they're older, this will be a fantastic toy for them to chew on when they're bored in their kennel because it does not destroy. Now, there are some dogs that do, so take precautions, but you want to only leave toys alone with them that you know they cannot destroy. We're going to go over how to teach your puppy their new name. Now, you want to make sure that you are definitely sure on what name you want to teach them. We don't want to add any confusion if you're changing their name from Buddy to Pal. We really got to make sure that you are good with this name because it's going to be their name basically for life. Can a dog relearn a name? Yes, of course, but it's just so much easier if we can make up our minds and stick with one decision. Now, obviously, Knox already knows his name, so I'm going to be using a different phrase, look at me, to show you how to do this with your puppy at home. Grab your treats, grab your dog, and let's get started. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want your dog to obviously be super invested and interested in the treats. Now, a lot of puppies might not be interested in treats. Know that this is extremely common and normal. Just wait a couple days, maybe even a week, and try again. Their focus isn't super great in the beginning. They're young, they're babies. Just give them a little bit of time and just still continue using the name that you want, but we can work on this a little bit later. But as soon as they're interested in that treat, what you're going to do is you're going to use it, make sure that they're interested in it, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring it to your eyes. You can put it right in between, right here, or you can bring it up to a single eye, whatever works. You're just going to want to bring it up to your face until they make eye contact with you. Once they make eye contact with you, say the name and then give them that treat and tell them that they're good. Look at me. Good boy. Good. Yes, good boy. And we do that a couple times. We're going to take forever to chew that, huh? So you see how he's looking over here, and if I say look at me, he's not doing anything. So I'm going to bring it over here. Look at me. Yes, good boy. And even pause just a little bit. Make sure that they're really looking and staring at you and focusing on what you're saying. Look at me. So I want you to notice he's not looking at me yet. Look at me. There we go. Good boy. You're going to want to make sure they are looking at you and not the treat. Their eyes should move from it because they're looking to you for direction. It may take a little bit, and they might get frustrated or want to bark at it or paw at it or something, but just have patience. We're going to try again. Okay. Look at me. Okay, look at me. Yes, good boy. Thank you. And then as they get better at it, try having the treat a little bit farther away. Try having it down one way or another and then say their name and see if they pay attention to you. Look at me. Yes, good boy. Yes, there we go. Good job. Good. Look at me. Yes, good boy. I don't know if you can tell right there. He just shifted his eyes up at me. He didn't move his head, but his eyes moved up to where I was, which is just fine. He wants to focus on the treat, but he's moving up to give me that eye contact. Look at me. Yes, good boy. Good. And then eventually what you can do is you can just leave the treats alone. You can ask them, look at me. And then once they look at you, you can give them that treat. Good boy. Thanks for joining us today. We hope we've been able to help you out a little bit. Again, all the month of December, we're going to be focusing on just puppy things. So if you have an adult dog and you're really struggling and you can't wait for more videos, please give us a call. We do free evaluations every day. Knox, can you say bye? Good boy.